Hi, my name is Julie Stigmeyer, and I work with the Writing Studio at Concordia University, Irvine. Today I'm going to share a quick writing tip as part of a series so you can incorporate best practices of scholarly writing into your own work. In this video, I'll discuss the basics of in-text citations according to the 7th edition of the APA Publication Manual. Whenever you integrate research into your writing, you must include both an abbreviated in-text citation with the author date in the text and a full reference on the reference page. And you need to have a one-to-one correspondence between the in-text citations and references, which means that you cannot include in-text citations that do not appear in your references and vice versa. So here are some basic guidelines for in-text citations. You should cite all facts that you mention that are not common knowledge. These may include works like key background information, support for your thesis, or critical definitions or data. For example, let's say you're writing about the long-term impacts of COVID-19 on adolescents. You mentioned that many adolescents experienced increased anxiety and depression. And that may seem like common knowledge given the widespread understanding of the negative consequences of the pandemic lockdowns. However, in academic writing, this must be supported by research that is current and peer-reviewed. So the first basic guideline would be to cite every claim. In-text citations use the author date system with only last name or names of the authors and no initials or first names. Punctuation goes outside the parentheses. To use the author date system, you can follow these basic guidelines for a single author, two authors, and three or more authors. Notice here that only the last name or names are used with no first names or initials in the in-text citations, and punctuation comes after the last parenthesis. Let's look at an example that needs some adjustment. Notice here the issues with punctuation. At the end of this first sentence, the punctuation is placed before the parenthetical citation, but it should be after. And then in this parenthetical citation, there's an unnecessary comma after the author's last name. Here there's a missing comma after all of et al. And here we need the period after all. For this last example, initials are included, but not necessary for in-text citations. Now we see this paragraph edited. The punctuation comes after the parenthetical citation. These three examples now show correct punctuation for citing 3+ authors, and the last example now has the initials removed. So important basic principles of an in-text citation is to have a one-to-one correspondence between the citations and the references. Also, every claim should be cited. And in academic writing, we usually err on the side of caution and cite things that we may think would be common knowledge. Use the author date system and be aware of the punctuation guidelines. So where can you get help with your in-text citations? In Concordia's online writing lab, The OWL. Access the Writing Studio's website and make an appointment today. See the links in the description of this video for more information and assistance.